Hello, I am Orange Cat, and this is my analysis for Toonami's ratings for May 4th, 2019. And let's start at the top of the block. Dragon Ball Super, a 0.35 this week. This is a slight increase from last week. We're getting into Goku versus Jiren, one of the best fights, many people consider one of the best fights in the entire series. So, a really hype moment. They have My Hero Academia. If you're following where we are in the show now, we're in the middle of season 3. We've seen who All for One is, and anyone who's seen the show knows that we're near that quote unquote epic smash from All Might that's going to really, probably what many people consider the pivotal moment in the series. It scores a 0.27 this week. Very big improvement from last week. More likely because of the hype surrounding this two-parter, the first part of which aired this past Saturday. The Promised Neverland, a small bump up to a 0.20 this week. This is, I believe, only the second time it's hit a 0.2, and we're really getting to the meat of that show. I just really love The Promised Neverland. Sword Art Online Alicization holds to a 0.18 this week. I believe that's the same it got last week. Maybe it went up 1/100th of a point. Still, not the worst of ratings, but it's hanging towards the bottom of its normal range of ratings, so maybe a little shaky, but I mean, it's not plummeting, so that's a good thing. Diamond is Unbreakable to 0.17 this week, improving 0.04 of a point. So, important to see that increase and really just knock away the conspiracy theories that a lot of our Toonami people had, saying that, oh, JoJo's tearing down the block, it's killing My Hero Academia somehow 2 hours later, and that stuff. Black Clover, again, another build for Black Clover this week, a 0.19, very steady at this point of the block. It's a really great number to have. Boruto had really struggled the first few weeks under this new schedule, but it goes back to 0.18 this week. A small, nice improvement. Nice to see out of the show. Nice to see it's got some life even late in the block like this. Shippuden, the Boruto's dad, also scores a 0.18, but a slight increase in total viewers and in 1849 viewers. So it technically does build on his son a little bit. Still a nice solid number. Then of Hunter x Hunter, 0.19. Remember back during the Chimera Ant arc, Gon versus Pito only scored a 0.11. So you see Hunter x Hunter with new life towards the end of this block now. And I guess you can say it's because he got semantics with adding in plus three what's it called, DVR recordings and stuff. I've seen some people say, which explains the increase in the building on Shippuden. It's had, I believe, every week in this schedule it's built on Shippuden, and many people told me that's what's happening. Maybe it is. Attack on Titan rerun plummeting relative to Hunter x Hunter to a 0.14, and really up and down. I believe every single show here built on last week, and that's always a great thing to see. Of course, the biggest interesting part of this was My Hero Academia, which had struggled last week. I believe only at like a 0.18 last week, rocketing 900s, so increasing its rating by 50% to 0.27. You know, going real plus ultra there, with its ratings. And like people were talking about, oh, to be fair, I was probably one of the loudest about being angry that My Hero Academia was put into the slot, feeling that Boruto would probably hold Super better. My Hero Academia has been kind of bizarre in its retention. The first week in the schedule and this past week, it's done amazing retention on Super, but the 2 weeks in between were just very subpar, and it's a hard show to read in ratings. And My Hero Academia, I think more than any other show, is really ratings are more a slave to how hype it is in the show. And next week we're gonna have great ratings. I would not rule out a 0.30 be predicting next week because we get that plus ultra smash, and that's what a pivotal moment in the series. A lot of people would say. A lot of people say it's the best episode in the entire series. And the same thing with Super too. Super can just rocket up the ratings too, because you have the end of Goku versus Jiren right there. And a lot of people really wanted to see that, and that's many people consider the pivotal moment of the Tournament of Power arc, even though we're still got, I think, like 15, 20 episodes left in the arc, something ridiculous. And you have Promise, and with these ratings, it makes it look like Promised Neverland is a show that's struggling to retain viewers. But I think the back end of the block is more or less just stable for who's watching. I think for most shows, midnight onwards, if you're gonna watch the show, you're gonna watch the show each week. but if you're not haven't gotten into the show, you're not going to get interested in the show. That's why we see the numbers for these later shows not really fluctuate that much. But you have something like Dragon Ball Super, which goes up or down a tenth week by week or so. My Hero Academia, which has been absolutely unstable numbers, but fortunately a very good number this week, you know, for the show, for the block. And again, many people have been talking about, oh, if we get a new schedule soon, they should move up Black Clover. I actually disagree with that analysis. Seeing a show get an abnormally high rating late in the block doesn't mean it's being underrated and should be moved up the block. In my opinion, it means it's fitting very well with the slot it's in now. Basically, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's why I think Black Clover should stay at 130. Hell, even these later shows, I give Boruto, Shippuden, Hunter x Hunter holding well, Hunter x Hunter is going to be leaving in a few weeks anyways because the show's ending. But yeah, Boruto and Shippuden, I think could hold well here. Although I bet in 2 weeks, if we see My Hero Academia plummet below 0.20 again, I'm gonna be the first one saying Boruto should be moved back to 1130. You know, but yet again, I mean, that's really what the ratings are for this week. First, I like to give credit for Programming Insider for the actual graphic here that you see here for the ratings, and I want you to know what you guys think. What's your opinion on these ratings? Do you think the schedule needs to change? What's your plans on My Hero Academia being at 11:30? Because I know if there's gonna be anything explosive to me about that. What new shows do you think Toonami should add to the schedule for the upcoming vacancies that something like Hunter x Hunter is gonna have? We already know JoJo's gonna be replaced by Lupin, but what do you guys think? What shows do you want to be on? Do you want there to be on the block? I appreciate your guys' support. If you want more content like this, please subscribe. Appreciate your support. I am Orange Cat, and